Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate Mercy. Today we are going to be talking about palettes, eyeshadow palettes in particular, that I think we all should collectively come together, go into our beauty stash and pull out because fall is almost here. I think fall is officially here, September 22nd. If this is something that you are interested in, then please go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below, and without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be talking about fall palettes that I think are absolutely the best for fall palettes that I am so excited to begin to play with. I'm actually going to be filming and doing a Shop My Stash right after this, so that's kind of like what inspired this. I was like, I should talk about fall palettes because I feel like a lot of us love fall, of course myself included. Fall is one of my favorite seasons, so this is like my time to shine as far as like eyeshadow palettes go. So we're going to start off, I think, with some Colourpop goodies that I think are fabulous. I will note if something I don't think is available anymore. That doesn't mean, of course, that we can't find them if we really, really need them on like Poshmark or eBay or something. But I want to discourage anyone from like overpaying for these products just because they're not available anymore. I have what I feel is like a plethora of options, so please don't feel like you need to like run out and grab a palette if it is discontinued. That is not the message that I'm trying to send. What I'm trying to say is that let's go into what we already have, bring them out, and love on them for fall. Starting off with Colourpop, I'm going to be mentioning this one. This was actually in my summer one as well. However, I really think that we can still bring this out for the fall time. I think that like a bronzy golden summer look is beautiful, but I also feel like maybe a sultry golden look is beautiful as well. This is one of my favorite Colourpop palettes just because I love the shades in here. I think that it's beautiful. I think that we can use this in both the summer and the fall, and so I think if you have this in your collection, please bring it out and see what you can do with it. This is actually still available on Colourpop's website, so if this is something that you've been thinking on or are on the fence about, I really don't think you would be disappointed. On the contrary, this is no longer available. However, I have seen several posts on Instagram and on YouTube identifying that their Colourpop's newest big palette honestly dupes a lot of the shades in here. But if you have this one, I would strongly encourage we all bring out the At Forest site, which is of course the collaboration between Raw Beauty, Kristy, and Colourpop. I've used this a couple of times. I got this late last year, so really I want to be able to get a lot of use out of it this year because I got it after the fall season last year. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It just has so many beautiful mattes, and matte grungy looks are super in right now. So I just think that if we can collectively come together and bring this out, I really think that we will be able to create some really beautiful looks with this. However, if you want to get this and you cannot, I will link, I cannot remember the name of their newest palette right now, but I will link all of these down below, and if you can't find exactly this, I will link something that I think is comparable to that down below. The next two are from their 9 pans. I believe both of these are still available. So this is the Wine and Only. I actually did a dedicated review on my channel for this palette. I love this palette. Like, if you like wine colors, red colors, like super smoky, dark, vampy looks, you're gonna love this palette. It is so pretty. So honestly, I know I'm posting this after they just had their 25% off sale, but even without the 25% off, these are still a great bargain, and I think that the formula is unbeatable. So honestly, if you can get your hands on Wine and Only, or if you have it in your collection, please bring it out because it's so good. The other one that I wanted to talk about, I saw that the blushes for this collection were on sale, so I'm praying that this is not discontinued because this is such a beautiful bronze palette. Like, this is so pretty to create like a super dark or super monochromatic brown look. I just feel like this is so trendy right now as far as like the color scheme goes, and these are just really special shadows, like right here and here. This one is Lashes and this one is Fierce. They're just both so beautiful, and I honestly think if you have this, you need to bring it out. You need to bring it out. You need to bring it out right now. Thank you. I have 2 Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes I want to talk about. Both of these are like my top 2 Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I honestly Any that I have not liked from them, I typically declutter. So I like all the ones in my collection, but these are chef's kiss, top notch. The first one is Soft Glam by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So this is what the color story looks like. It honestly looks like it was literally made for fall. As you can see, I've really loved on this palette throughout the years. I've had this probably like 3 years now. And the formula is still holding up. This is one of those palettes that if it were to start changing formula and stop working as well as I recall it working, I would go out and repurchase. However, I would probably wait to find this on sale because I feel like as of late, this palette has gone on sale, and if you can get it for a more cost-effective price, I would encourage you to do that, but I love this. This is just like, this is one of their best palettes, in my humble opinion. The other one that I think is absolutely wonderful, and this one I'm honestly not sure we can get our paws on anymore. I feel like you might be able to, but I'm not sure. This is their collaboration with Jackie Aina. They should have made this a permanent part of their collection because this is one of the best Anastasia formulas ever. So this is what the inside looks like. It has a lot of like berry tones and jewel tones. This shade right down here is called Sponsored, and it's honestly, it's a really special shade. I really love this. So if you can get your hands on this, I would encourage you to do so. However, if you can get it on sale, I would really encourage you to do so. It's just one of those palettes that is beautiful every single time I use it, and I feel like the color story is really inspiring. So definitely pick this up if you can. I have two palettes here by Urban Decay. So one of them is actually pretty new. It was released this year, and one is absolutely not new, but I still really love it. So the first one is this one. It is the Naked Wild West palette by Urban Decay. This is going to be a formula for anyone who is into more simplistic looks. If you're really going for like an artistry look, I don't think this formula is going to be for you. I could be wrong, of course, I could be wrong. I just feel like this formula is really easy to work with and create beautiful everyday staple looks with. I love the shade range in here. I think that the pops of teal and blue are beautiful. And the shades with more of the warm tones are absolutely beautiful and complementary. So if this is another one of those products that you've been on the fence about and unsure if you want to pick up, I really don't think you would be disappointed. This is actually a really beautiful palette. Next up is the Naked Heat palette. I don't see anyone talk about this anymore, and it did come out years ago when like the warm eyeshadow boom was a thing, and this came out, I think it was like with Tarte toasted. So we were roasting and toasting Tarte. I don't remember what we were doing exactly, but this came out around that time, and it just has some really staple warm toned neutrals in here. Again, if you're going for like a really big va-va-voom look, the Naked palettes are not going to achieve that, but if you're going for a really easy to blend, really easy to work with everyday work look, I really think you would be pleasantly surprised by this. I honestly, for one reason or another, I haven't seen this palette on sale recently, if ever. Like the honey goes on sale, the cherry goes on sale, but never to my knowledge the Naked Heat. But if you can find this on sale, I would encourage you to grab this if you don't already have it. If you have it, you have to bring it out. We have to bring out what we already have and love on it. The next two palettes I have are by Lunar Beauty. So one of them you can still get today, and if you have not picked it up, I really think you would enjoy it if you're on the fence about it. The other one you can no longer get because Manny is obviously a cruel and unusual man who wants us to suffer, because honestly, I don't understand why this was limited edition. This is the Moonspell palette. So this came out not last year, I think, but the year before. And just recently it sold out because I actually picked mine up at the beginning of this year, and now you can't get it. So it's just perfect. It's just perfect. This is, first of all, the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen on a palette ever. And secondly, the shades in here are stunning. They blend really well. They build really well. I just think that if you have this, you have to bring it out. This is going to be one of those where if you don't have this and you are like dying for it, I honestly, like, I don't even know if you can get this secondhand anymore. So I will try to see if I can find some dupes for this and link it down below. Just know that I don't have any dupes in my personal collection that compare to this. But if you have this in your collection, this is just a friendly reminder. then you need to bring it out, and we need to be rocking all of the iconic witches. Because that's the other thing. All of the shades in here are named after iconic witches. I love this palette. The next palette is, of course, by Lunar Beauty also, as I mentioned, and you can still get your hands on this. This is the Eternal Eclipse. This is kind of an interesting palette that I think will work well for fall because it does have like those neutral colors in here that are warm, but it also has a couple of cool toned and then like more sultry dark blue colors. So I think if you're somebody that likes cool toned and or warm toned shadows, I think that we can all get a lot of use out of this palette. I love Lunar Beauty's formula, and the packaging is honestly, it's so weighty, it's so beautiful. If you have not tried Lunar Beauty, I strongly encourage that you do. I have a couple more influencer palettes. This one is by Tati Beauty. If you go to their website, it looks like you can still order this. However, I haven't actually tried to order it, so I don't know like if it'll let you check out or not, but it's up for debate. At any rate, if you can get your hands on this, I really don't think you'd be disappointed. This is one of the most beautiful palettes that I've ever used in my life. The glitter shades in here are pressed glitter, but they are probably the best pressed glitter I've ever tried in my entire life. If you are somebody that maybe has tried Colourpop's pressed glitters and you don't like them, fret not. These are infinitely different. I don't mind Colourpops, but these are just a totally different caliber. These have beautiful, beautiful shades for fall. You have like your warm tones right in here, your neutral tones, and then you do have some cool tones and a pop of color down here. This is just a really special palette. And again, if you already have this, I strongly encourage that you whip it out because I think actually she made this with fall in mind. And if you're somebody that has been wanting it, I do believe it's available on her website. If I can, I will link it down below. The last influencer palette I want to talk about today is a collaboration between Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. So these got a lot of controversy when they came out, and I like distinctly remember I've actually ordered the Vault twice now because my dog ate my first Vault. Both Vault I personally did not have a problem with, so I can't speak to those that did have a problem with their Vault collections. However, this one here is called Armed and Gorgeous, and it is exactly that. So it has beautiful like warm tone shades with like a nice punch of like a army green down here. This shade is really stunning all over the lid. As you can see, like I have used and abused this palette. This is one of my favorites come fall time. Next, I have two palettes from indie brands that I really enjoy, both brands and both products. The first one is the Juicy Olive by Give Me Glow. This like went viral, I'm pretty sure, a while ago, but isn't this just the most beautiful green palette you've ever seen in your whole life? Let me adjust the lighting because I feel like the lighting is kind of wonky. There we go. I think you can see the colors now. It honestly has such a grungy, beautiful looks. I honestly think I might do like a dedicated video just to this palette because this is really unique, especially in my fall collection here, but I feel like it's unique for my entire collection, and I honestly have not seen a lot of other palettes that mimic the shades in this palette. So if you are looking for the Juicy Olive palette, I'm pretty confident it is available. If it's not, I will make sure to try to link something similar down below, but honestly, I have not tried anything quite this lovely. The next palette is by Nomad Cosmetics, and this is the Orient Express palette. Honestly, I feel like this one is a little underhyped. It has some of those greens. Again, green is one of those shades that I personally really enjoy wearing in the fall, but it also has like beautiful yellows, some absolutely stunning neutrals, this lovely gold shade along with this green. So I just think that like if you have this in your collection and you have been neglecting it in the same way that I've been neglecting it, now might be a fabulous time to bring it out because it's such a good palette. The last two palettes I have are very warm toned. So as you can kind of see, there's a theme going on here. I love warm toned eyeshadow. The first one that I want to talk about is by Sigma. This is their Ambiance palette. I actually got this year pretty recently. I have used this once and I was really pleasantly surprised with the formula. So this is what the inside looks like. Samantha March, also here on YouTube, of course, I'm sure most of you know her, but if you don't, I'll link her down below, talks about this palette and identifies that if she could choose between this palette and the Patrick Ta palette, she would choose the Patrick Ta palette. I can't speak to that palette. However, I can speak to this one and let you know that this is absolutely stunning. If you are on the prowl for an everyday warm neutral palette, I seriously recommend picking up this one. It is not a drugstore effective option in the way of like cost effectiveness, but it is like around the mid-tone range. I cannot remember for the life of me exactly what this costs. I want to say it's around like $40. I'll be happy to, of course, link it down below, but I love this palette. The last palette to talk about today, I'm pretty confident most of us have seen and heard of and probably have in our collections, to be perfectly honest. This is by Natasha Denona, and this is her bronze palette. This is honestly one of my favorite palettes of all time, if not my favorite palette of all time. I love warm tone neutrals, and this is just that. It's absolutely stunning. The shades blend beautifully. The pigmentation is rich, not too concentrated where you're going to bump into this giant mess on your eyes if you're trying to play with it. I just think that if you love warm tone neutrals and you don't own this palette, I strongly encourage that you pick this up. And if you have it in your collection already, now is this baby's time to shine. That was a lot of palettes. Please comment down below and let me know what palettes you are most excited to use for fall. Please let me know if there's any that I did not list here that you think I really need for the fall season. I absolutely love fall, and makeup in the fall time is like my favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to my channel down below. And as always, please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay blessed. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.